All right, so we got an unboxing. We're going to do this in fast motion, and let's go. Oh, God, it's from, by the way, Quebec, Canada. Okay, I've never gotten this before. Someone packed something in a candy container, all right? All right, let's just hope that this is okay. Now, the seller did give me half off for this item. I made an offer, and I was in shock, all right? Let's hope it's not junk. Oh, okay, it is good. It is good. I was afraid that they were going to send me junk. But this is no junk, boys and girls. Hold on. Let's get a close up. All right, so what do we have here? What do we have here? We have Saint Gregory the Great. He was a pope, and we'll go all about it. So what is that? It's a relic. Yes, it's a holy relic. First class holy relic. Let's zoom in. And you can see it's an ossibus. It looks like an ossibus or a bone. I don't know if you can see that. And this is beautiful because it's in a silver filigree casing, or how did they say that? Teca, something like that. It's spelled Theca. And you can see the 800 silver mark right there on the back. And let's go actually zoom in better to try to see what this object holds. All right, so I have like these chandeliers above my head, and they sort of bounce off of the, I'm trying to put my hand over this. They bounce off, and it makes it so you can't like really see through the glass properly. Let's zoom in on this. This is an ossibus, ex-ossibus, which means bone in Latin. So it's the bone of Saint Pope Gregory the First. And boy, do I have a story about Saint Pope Gregory. We'll do a cutaway. But first, before we do that, I want to place this in a reliquary. What is a reliquary? Hold on, I'll go get one. All right, so this is what a reliquary looks like. Well, I put third class prayer cards on them. And I'll show you. A reliquary is actually some kind of vessel that holds your first class relic. Let's go ahead. And there you go. There's the first class relic or a second class relic in a theca, or teca, I believe they pronounce it. And so somebody's going to get ousted out of this one and downgraded to a smaller vessel. And that is Pope St. Pius the 10th. Let's zoom in on him. And here we go. Here is St. Pope Pius the 10th. And we're going to actually place St. Gregory the Great in this. And because I have a smaller vessel, and so we're going to place him in a smaller vessel, because this is, look how beautiful this is. In my smaller theca or teca, it's not going to show the beauty of this beautiful filigree work. So let's get started, and then we're going to find out more about St. Pope Gregory the First. So also in this video, I'm going to show you how to place a holy relic in a teca. And you need air in a can, because you don't want any fuzz or any kind of stuff in there. So you place this in the centermost part of your teca. Your reliquary. Let's go ahead. You're placing the teca. All right. And you just want to line it up as best as you can. And then you want to take a background cloth. You could just cut it out from any kind of fabric. Go ahead. Place that right there in the center. And what you want to do is you want to place your finger right in the middle of that relic. So it doesn't move, but it's going to move. I can guarantee you. I can feel it moving right now as we speak. And then you can fix it at the end. You can take a little stick and push in your cotton. Have your cotton go around your relic. And just keep sticking it in here. And then you're going to check it. You're going to flip it over as best as you can without it falling out. And then, oh, my hands are in the way. And then you're going to turn it around. You're going to see where you're at. You're going to actually check and inspect where you're at with it. And it's probably going to be crooked, even though you had your finger on it. And it's not going to be centered properly. So what you want to do is you want to flip it. And as you can see here, it is not centered properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up into the spot that I want it to be in. And I noticed that we have slack on the bottom, so I'm going to add some more cotton on the bottom. I'll give you links to some of these reliquaries that are beautiful that you can get on Amazon for your relics. People ask me all the time, where do you get your reliquaries from? All right, and now we look centered. We look centered really well. And now I just want to set it and forget it. So I'm going to put a piece of cotton in the center. And then I'm going to place my cloth right here. And sometimes if you put too much cloth, they won't close. So you have to keep that in mind. All right, so what you want to do is you want to start pulling the door over this. Get your stick ready because you're going to have to tuck in the excess fabric that is sticking out of here. And you want to make sure this door shuts well, and it does in this case. And then we're going to flip it over. I have an antique rosary hanging on here. And there we go. That's how you place your relic inside a reliquary. So here it is. I just wanted to show you it in the light. There we go. We have it scented nicely. And so what I do is I hang antique rosaries from these. I also add little tassels and make it look really pretty that way. Now we have all the wildflowers here with it, and it looks really great. Let's find out more about St. Pope Gregory the First and how great was he really? Oh, I forgot. We got another relic that just arrived. By the way, this is a third class relic. What is the first class? The first class is a piece of the body of the saint. A second class is something they wore or touched in life. And a third class is something that, it could be a prayer card, a rosary, it could be a crucifix, or anything that is actually touched to the first class relic. And that will make it a third class relic now. All right, let's open up. Now this one is really great because, let me just double check. All right, now it's really heavy. It's not supposed to be this heavy, so I don't know what's going on here. We'll open it. Now this is supposed to be a relic, and I paid $30 for it, and it's way too big for what I think it's supposed to be. So we're gonna check it out and make sure that we get what we paid for, boys and girls. The envelope is empty. There's nothing else in there. Oh, there's fuzz and asbestos coming out of that. All right, this was listed. Would I buy it now for $30? Now this never happens. Relics, actually, there's really no value to place on relics, but this was listed. Would I buy it now for $30? It was missing the backing, and you never get a first-class relic for $30 doll hairs. They had an opening bid of $20, make an offer for $30. I jumped on it. I didn't even read the description and didn't know the backing was missing because, like I said, I didn't want anyone else jumping on this. Let's just make sure that I get what I paid for. And, okay, wrapped in a napkin in a pretty jewelry box. And, oh, please, God, please. Oh, yes, okay. We did get our first class relic. And it does have, yes, this says the Pope Pius X Vatican seal on the back. I can clearly see this. This was not tampered with. You can see the strings were not cut. It's just missing the back. The little case that slips on the back. That's no problem. Oh, this is beautiful. All right. By the way, we're going to learn more about Pope St. Gregory the First. We will find out more about him in a moment, but this is just too absolutely... what the heck is on my thumb? Wait, hold on a minute. I think I have an injury. I'll be right back. Okay, I just washed my hands. I thought it was ink. I have an injury on my thumb that I did not have until I opened these relics. What? Wait, hold on. Like, can we even get a focus? Oh my God, this camera is terrible. Hold on. What is this, boys and girls? I did not have this injury. I'm not saying I have stigmata, but this was not, yeah, this, what is all this? Oh my God, like my fingers are bleeding. What is going on here? Oh, I'm really creeped out about this. Okay, this is weird. All right, so let's find my pointer. I can't find my pointer right now, but yeah, like here, I'll use this as a pointer. And if you look hold on. Right there in the center, right, that brown thing right there, that looks like a piece of flesh. Let's zoom in on that. Do you see that? Yeah, that's clearly an ex-carne, yeah, definitely ex-carne. Carne, carnivorous, meat, flesh in Latin. You see, I took Latin in 7th grade. I passed it, actually. And then I had to move, unfortunately, to a different neighborhood where they only did Spanish. And so I lost my Latin, yeah. But I remember carne, carnivorous. It has the roots of words. Carne, ex-carne, flesh, meat. And very interesting for 30 doll hairs. And it does say S-Pi-X comma, CP, and Pope Pius X, who was Pope from 1904 to 1914, I believe, or 1913. And he was known as an anti-modernist Pope, a traditionalist. He wanted to restore all things in Christ. I have this is number 17 first-class relic of St. Pope Pius in my collection. And I was so fortunate to get this for $30 because the seller did not know really much about relics and sold junk. Yes, $2, $3 pieces of thrift store junk. And I got really lucky to get this. All right, it does come with the stamp. Also, my other one comes with the stamp from the Vatican. I forgot to take off the case and show you guys. But these are legit. There are fakes out there. You have to be very careful. We'll put this in a reliquary also. I'll be right back. All right, so we're going to unpack a reliquary that I got from Amazon and eBay. By the way, I get these from Amazon and eBay. I will put links in the description below so you can get these reliquaries for your holy relics. And we're going to actually learn again how to quickly place these in. I do notice a lot of churches don't place these in very neatly, and they look uncensored, and I have like OCD about that. So there you go. So what you want to do, get a can of air, and my dog is groaning on the floor right now. Excuse that. And do you hear that? He's tired of my relic. All right, you want to blow out the dust, and then you want to place it on something soft. Let's go ahead. Hold on. You want to get it where it's actually like right about there, because you want to place your relic in there. If I can find it. Where's the darn thing? Okay, there. You want to place it right in the center, and you got to find which orientation you want it. So this way. All right, so this way, and we're going to get it right in the center, which we're going to have to like fix later anyway. Then we're going to get a piece of fabric. Let's go ahead. So you can get a piece of fabric from anywhere. It could be anything. Cut it into like it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you're going to place it. You're going to flip it over. Now you need cotton. So I got this thing on Amazon. It's batting cotton. It's I don't know if you can see. It's like pure cotton. And I just pull pieces of it out of the bag. Let me go ahead and get some to show you. And I pull it into strips. So I pull it into strips like that, and then so I could stuff my reliquary. I'm pulling more cotton out right now as we speak. If you don't have cotton, you can use fabric, but it's going to be harder to get a form to mold around your relic to get it to fit in here. So I'm just pulling pieces of cotton off. Then you want to get like a little stick. It could be anything. I got a little wooden shish kebab stick. But you can get a stick. So now you're going to put your finger on the spot. I just want to push the fabric out of my way. Then you want to take the stick and just be able to push the cotton in there. Now that this doesn't, this one doesn't have a backing, it's really not a problem because nobody is going to see it. It's going to be in the reliquary. This is very hard to do. It's like surgeon precision. But I do notice a lot of the churches really don't do a good job about placing these into the reliquaries. They're all crooked and stuff. And it sort of bothers me. Like, I don't know, I'm a perfectionist. Just going to put a little bit more cotton into this area. You want to get it down the sides. And you can see it's starting to take a shape. And so now I'm going to place my finger, hold on, right here. And then I'm going to get my stick again. I'm going to place this cotton in here, going around, and you're going to have to fix it. It's not going to be centered. Even though you think your finger stopped it from moving around, you are going to have to finagle it, as I say. Jerry-rig it, finagle it. Let's go ahead. I need to rip off some more cotton. You can see like there's deficits. And again, you just want to get the fabric out of the way because you don't want the little pieces of thread or dust to get in the viewing area. All right, so I just need to see where it is in here. And again, it is not centered. So now you're going to take your finger and stick it in the back and then just stick it and push it up in the spot that you want. I see there's a deficit of cotton here, so I have to put more right there on the bottom to give it a little bit more leverage. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'm going to just shove this in here. And again, I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to move it, push it into the position that I want it in. And that's pretty good. All right, so now we want to close this. This might be a little too much fabric. You just have to make, be careful about how much fabric you're cutting, because then it won't close. So you want to put the little door on. You want to get the spot without the stuff coming out. So now what you're going to do is get your stick. And I'm going to push in the fabric so I can push this closed. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and take a look. And there we go. So we're going to take a quick look at it outside. We're going to find out more about St. Gregory the Great. So here we go. Look how beautiful that is. All right, and so you always want to get a reliquary. If you don't have a reliquary, I will tell you that your relic is going to get tarnished. It's going to get water damaged. It's going to actually have a lot of issues. So you need to have it protected in one of these reliquaries. Now, the other relic that I took out to make room for St. Gregory now needs a reliquary. So these things can get very expensive. You're going to have to spend quite a bit of Ben Franklin's to get these reliquaries. I will put a link in the description below of multiple different reliquaries you can choose for your holy relics. And let's go find out more about St. Gregory the Great. Okay, again, really fast, we're going to see how do you turn this into how do you turn something into a third-class relic with two first-class relics? You take a prayer card or a rosary and or anything. It could be anything, a piece of cloth, a rosary, a crucifix, a prayer card like this that I made with fresh flowers. Here we go. And then you just touch it with intention. You venerate, you love the particular saint. And you just, you feel like a love. And now you have a third-class relic. Really cool.
546, the Ostrogoths came calling in what remained of Rome. Now these Goths showed none of the restraint of the Visigoths, Huns, or Vandals. They plundered the city, then starved its inhabitants. By the time they were finished, the last lingering remnants of Roman civilization, things like safe travel, communications, and trade, had all disappeared. The ironic thing is that neither the Romans nor the invading barbarians actually wanted disorder. It didn't serve anybody's purposes. Order needed to be restored. Somebody needed to fill the power vacuum to take the place of the imperial government. Another great leader was needed. A leader named Gregory the Great. Born into a wealthy Roman family, Gregory was a smart, well-educated man who made a name for himself in the civil sphere. At one point, he was even prefect of Rome, which is kind of like being a mayor. Eventually, though, he gave up his worldly success, entered religious life, and turned his home into a monastery. He built more monasteries, was later ordained a deacon, and then served as a church diplomat. When Pope Pelagius II died in 590, the church came calling. Gregory became pope and reigned as successor to Peter for 14 years. In addition to restoring civil order through the institution of the church, Gregory showed his greatness by reforming the clergy and ending liturgical abuses. And the effects of his work are still being felt today. For example, he was the initial promoter of Gregorian chant, which bears his name. Now a doctor of the church, Gregory the Great's legacy includes a number of sermons and letters, a biography of St. Benedict, and a rule for pastors to help guide bishops in their role as shepherds of the flock. And like Leo before him, he was passionate about preserving unity and maintaining order in the church. In his Epistle 17, Gregory stated that we all together need to follow the guidelines of our holy fathers, doing nothing adversarial. But unanimous in every pious aim, we must, with the Lord's help, obey the holy and apostolic constitutions. Like other good fathers, the fathers of the church wanted to keep their family from tearing itself apart. Now, they obviously weren't afraid to deal with problems, but but they rightly valued the unity of the church. They sought to fulfill the prayer of Christ to his Father in the Gospel of John, that we may all be one.
Today is one of my favorite days of the whole year. Today is the feast of Gregory the Great, who in my opinion is my favorite church father. And what happened was, I started working at the center 7 years ago, and Scott and Curtis Mitch are doing the Ignatius Study Bible, and they finished the book of Job, and as I'm reading this commentary on Job, Gregory the Great has the most incredible reflections, and he's seeing things that, he died in the 600s, but he's seeing things and predicting what we would experience as a church this day and age. And I was like, I've never heard of this guy, and his commentary was so amazing that I just became a huge fan. So Curtis Mitch said, well, you got to read his 40 homilies. And I said, well, I don't know if I like him that much, but I bought the book. And the very first homily I got to read was on Matthew's Gospel, when Jesus says, who is my brother? Who is my mother? I tell you, it is those that listen to me and follow me. And Gregory then asks us in his homily, how can one be Jesus' own mother? And I never thought of that before. And what Gregory says is, those that share my word, my truth, that share Jesus to others, gives birth to Jesus within that person now, and then becomes Jesus' mother. And when I read that, I was just like, oh my gosh. And so I have just become such a big Gregory the Great fan. I hope everybody can get to know him more. His genius, the gift he was to the church as a pope. He could speak endlessly about the impact he had on the church, but just as a biblical scholar and commentator in Scripture, he has just completely made me his biggest fan. And I hope that a lot of members of our audience will get more into him as well.
Oh my God. So we got two great first-class Pope relics. We have St. Gregory the Great, Pope St. Gregory the Great I. We also have, yes, first class. We also have a first-class relic of another pope here, another fantastic and wonderful pope of the early 20th century. We have Pope Pius X, two first-class holy relics right here. We have the doctor of the church, one of the doctors of the church, much there up there like St. Anthony and many other doctors of the church, which actually there aren't too many of them because that's how hard it is to become doctors of the church. And wow, okay, why are these being found? Why it's very hard. Now, you can't put a price on these. Now, why do so many people put a price on these relics and sell them on eBay for thousands of dollars when it should be free to all of us? Because unfortunately, the church is dwindling in people showing up to Mass. There's not a lot of people going to church anymore. Priests are passing away. Priests, which may have these first-class relics in their collection, are passing away as well. They didn't leave a will, per se. Churches are shuttering, and these are becoming orphans. These beautiful first-class and second-class holy relics are becoming orphans, and not many people are actually finding out and realizing that a lot of these treasures of the church are actually being thrown on eBay, Craigslist, Mercari, found at estate sales, found at auction houses. And so it's really, really, really a very blessed event to have this in my house, and which I will be sharing with my local parishes. I keep, speaking to the local church leaders in the Roman Catholic Church, and one of them is very exuberant about me doing this with him, having me bring this down to be venerated. Another one says I have to meet with the actual bishop to get approval to share these with other people. But I'm going to go with the other priest that's so willing to let me bring these down and share these with the parishioners. So on the feasts, I will be I have over 50 first and second class relics in my collection, and I will be sharing them with the parish with that local priest because he seems to be the most willing to let me bring my relics along with me. So thanks for watching. Now you know where to get these reliquaries from. You can check my description box beneath the video. There's many, many beautiful ones, which I'll be actually connecting you with links that you can buy if you so come across a first or second class relic in your collection and want to keep it protected As you can see, these have little doors. Water and moisture and humidity cannot get inside of here. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys all in the next. Now, hopefully it helped you to also learn how to actually place your relic inside one of these holy reliquaries. And now you know the secret. And you don't have to ask your local priest, how do I place the relic inside my reliquary? All right, I'll see you guys all on the next one, hopefully soon.